Alright, so you got yourself a new guitar with a Floyd Rose locking tremolo system. But maybe it's the first time you've owned one, or maybe like me, it's the first time you've had one in several years, decades even. So what's the best way to change the strings without messing everything up? That's what we're going to go over today. We're going to be using the Kramer Striker, and let's get to it. Alright, so the Floyd Rose here is floating, which means it goes up or down in pitch. So I like to brace it with a piece of just cardboard folded over, just to keep the bridge from sinking into the body. You'll need some string clippers, the Allen key, and also I like to use a wet microfiber cloth. As we take off the strings, good chance to wipe off the neck and the body using just water. Using the Allen key, loosen the nuts on the locking nut. And you want to set these aside so you don't lose them. They're universal, so you don't have to keep them separate. You don't have to keep track of which strings they go on. They'll fit anywhere. These are '08 GHS boomers. I usually use '09s, but we'll see how these work. I like to keep them in the package, so I don't have to keep track of what's the high E to low E. I take them out one at a time. Once I slack the strings, I start cutting them. I remove the high E, the G, and the B string, leaving the low E and A on. I want to replace the high strings before I take off the low strings. That way the tension remains in the bridge and it doesn't sink. Using the Allen key, you loosen the bridge pegs so you can remove the old string. You place a new string in the hole and tighten it back up. First with your fingers and then with the Allen key. You'll feel the key stop when it's done. Don't over tighten it. If you have ball-end strings, of course you want to clip the balls off. Just the bare end of a clipped string goes into the bridge. Once I get two strings on, then you can replace the locking nut pieces. Just place the screw in enough to stay put. You don't want to tighten it down. You'll need it loose to retune it once all the new strings are on. Once again, as you get strings off, use that time to wipe down any dust and oil from the fingerboard. Last, I take the low E off and replace with the new one. line up the strings to a relative tension. You're not trying to tune it now, you're just trying to get them fairly taut. Place the screws on the locking nut, but once again, not tight, just to hold them in place. Once you've got all the new strings on, your bridge should still be at a level with the neck, not raised or lowered. Before you try to tune your guitar, be sure to set all the fine tuners, raise them to their highest level. Then, once you have them all at the highest level, turn each individual fine tuner down about 5 or 6 turns. This way, when you tune, you'll have some mobility. You can go flat or sharp. Normally your strings would go a little bit flat, but you do want to have the flexibility to go in either direction. So this is very important. So once you're getting it back in tune, get each of the new strings, each set of 2 under the 3 locking nuts. Get them close to in tune, within a couple cents. As soon as you get them there, clamp down those 2 strings. When you get the next 2 in tune, clamp those down before they go too far off pitch. And same one with the last 2. So once you get them all clamped down, then you set your fine tuners within range. You can use that to fine tune every time. As long as you're within a few cents, you can travel up and down, sharp and flat. So anyway, that's how you change the strings on your Floyd Rose equipped guitar. And happy playing.